Hello, art lovers. It is June, I believe, and that means it's Pride Month. And so I decided that I'm going to tell my It Gets Better story. For those of you who didn't know, I am pansexual. I don't exactly hide it. As you may have noticed, most of my songs are about women. But yeah, that just means you could look it up. But basically, gender, age, race, I don't really care. You know, it's just appearance has nothing to do with it. Just so long as you don't smell bad and you're clean, you're fair game. But yeah, that's basically me, and that's cool. You know, it's whatever. But I've been doing this thing lately, where I tell people that I was one of the lucky ones because when I was growing up, I was never bullied. But a friend of mine, actually, just recently reminded me that, indeed, yes, I had been, for a long time. So I'm gonna flashback, go back in time a couple years, many years. When I was a kid, elementary school, I was actually a bully. I didn't have a lot of female friends. I had one. My best friend was a girl, but all the other people that I hang out with were male, and they were a very kind of rough group, kind of mean boys, bullies. And I had a weird growing up. Like my siblings, brilliant, both of them, but whenever we would play, I didn't want to play, but my parents would make me play because, you know, it's for kids. Kids play, but I didn't want to. I would and I was always the slow one or the awkward one. I never knew what to say. I didn't have anyone to play with because two cousins, both of my siblings would get one. Like my sister would get the girl cousin, my brother would go hang out with the boy cousin, and I'd be kind of, you know, middle child, awkward, left in the middle with no one. So I was kind of isolated and super sensitive as a kid because I couldn't take jokes. I didn't understand that aspect of people. I would lash out, start crying, get angry because people would mess with me. And then they would keep messing with me. Like at first it started as, you know, playfulness, but later on it was because it affected me so much, it became more malicious. But that was just in my family. When I got to school, that stuff didn't go away. I still took things too hard. I would get frustrated because I didn't understand what it was to have, I couldn't understand having friends. I didn't have very many. I lost a lot of them. I didn't function well. And I kept getting in fights and beating people up. And this carried over. What was that? Yeah, I was still in elementary school. My last year at elementary school. I was playing with a friend of mine. I had made a friend, and I got in a fight with a girl, and we both have our stories of how it went down. But the end result is that I punched her in the nose so hard that her face began to turn blue because of blood loss, and I didn't even know I'd done that much damage. I didn't know. And this was in defense of me and my friend. I was kind of trying to, you know, because we were playing, we were just messing around, and she came in and was like, "Can I have your ball?" and tried to steal it, and it was kind of this, it all kind of got confused and weird. But the thing, what happened was that we were both fighting. She didn't get in trouble. I did. I got in-school suspension. I just had to sit in a room for like hours and just sit there. I was so angry. So later on, they made me go in for counseling, and I thought this was a way to, you know, tattle on people and get people in trouble. But no, this wonderful woman, I owe her a lot. There's some kind of I did learn a lot from her. It didn't end there, but I learned a lot from her. I don't actually remember what because I've forgotten so much of this. But yeah, I went on into middle school, after elementary school, still angry, still fighting, still just I just didn't fit, you know. I was just kind of, I felt like I was just kind of there, and I felt weird. I didn't feel weird at first. I didn't know that I was odd or whatever. But in middle school, I had a couple friends, but I never had a friend that I just talked to. You know, most girls have that one type BFF. I never had that in middle school. I had friends I sat with at lunch and stood around with outside. That's about as big as it got. And I didn't have any relationships or those little crushes. Like, I had crushes, but none of it was ever serious. I didn't ever feel his actual emotions. It was like, oh, he's nice. I could, he could be my boyfriend. Oh, playful, you know what I mean? It was never anything real. Because I had this flaw of being super honest. I never lie. I don't lie. I don't do that stuff. I don't pretend. I would never pretend to be something else because I didn't know that people did that. I didn't know that was a thing that you could do. You know what I mean? It never crossed my mind to try and be someone else. So I would just kind of be me and not have a lot of friends. And I had falling out with one friend, and I was in middle school. I was verging. Not many people know about this. I was verging on suicidal. Actually, I got to that kind of low place. Kind of notice me, attention. I want people to know how upset and miserable and sad I am. That's what I know it is now. That's what it was feeling, but that's gone now. Because lo and behold, I met my best friend in middle school. I think we were in. He might know better. I met Joseph, my best friend. I think we were 6th graders. It was our last year, whatever it was. And young, skinny boy, tall, kind of bowl cut. And my hair was like this. I looked kind of mannish, but and I never wore like good clothing. I was always in a sweatshirt and jeans and just tennis shoes. I never dressed up. I was never no makeup. It just went, I was just comfortable. But anyway, that's a different story. But he always had this big kind of reddish pink sweater on that had huge floppy sleeves, and he would just kind of run around. And me being who I am, my overly honest, blunt, no filter person, I'd never met him before, but I heard him speak, and he has a very high voice. So I was utterly confused. So one day during lunch, I went up to him and I asked, "Seriously, are you a boy or a girl?" And he looked at me dead in the eye and said, "I'm a boy." And I walked away. I said, "Thank you so much," and I walked away. And we have been best friends since then. And he told me later on that it was like he had been asked that question before, but everyone else who had asked it had been teasing him, trying to make fun of him. I was just genuinely curious. And when he told me that, I was like, okay, it's cool. And this was before he came out. He was I guess still closeted at the time. And I didn't even know that I was pansexual at all this time, because I'd never, felt those emotions. I wasn't claiming anything before I knew, because I didn't know anything. But since then, we became close friends, and the reason we became such good friends. This is kind of going on long, but I don't care. I'm telling my story. The reason we became such good friends is because when other people look at me, it's either with amusement or confusion, or, it's just kind of bemused, and it's a draining feeling, when someone looks at you like you're not quite normal. And I never used to notice it until, a boy called me stupid in math class, and I got upset, and people would just be kind of like, or I would say something, totally normal in my brain, and then get just these looks. I didn't notice it until later in middle school. People weren't responding like I thought was normal. I was just saying what was on my mind. But he never looks at me like I'm a freak, like I'm odd. And apparently I don't look at him like he's odd either. And I guess that's kind of an oddness in itself, because later, in high school, I had stopped being bullied because I was hanging out with him. And whenever someone would come up to him and say, "Are you a boy or a girl, or what are you?" I would be like, dude, back off. Like, I would defend him, because he's my friend, my best friend, my top best friend. High school, the bullying stopped for me, or else I just didn't notice it, because by then I'd been reading a lot. I'd escaped into the books from the bullying, and I'd read a bunch of books over and over again, and movies all over the place, and I was finding my own little outlets, and I just learned that I didn't care what people thought about me, which was beautifully freeing. Because I never tried to change to be what someone else wanted me to be, but now I knew that I wasn't going to, I was going to be myself, and that was a beautifully freeing moment. High school came around. Joseph came out, started cross-dressing, because his way of putting it is he is androgynous. He is an androgynous gay male who dresses in women's clothing. I'll go with that. I always kind of just got whatever he said, anyway, because it's his thing, isn't it? It's his thing. But and I thought that the bullying had stopped for both of us, and I just completely forgot about it because people wouldn't mess with me anymore. I was just happy all the time. Joseph is my best friend, but I don't talk. I talk to my sister. I don't talk to him, really. Like, I do as much, more than anyone else, but not really. There's a lot I don't tell him. I'm alone a lot. But, he moved away. This comes later. But whenever I wasn't around, apparently he would still get bullied. Never when I was with him. I don't know why. But, he started telling me about, people picking on him when I wasn't there. And that broke me a little bit. I was like, that's not okay. And this gets to the last time I ever got in a fight. I don't know what year I was in, or that time has no reference for me. But we were walking in a hallway during our lunch period, and a guy comes up, and he says something impossibly vulgar to the both of us. Like, it's a joke towards both of us, because our people had been, I guess that's spreading rumors that we were a couple. Which, I mean, I love the guy, but, I don't think I'm his type. But, and that was kind of amusing to me. But to have someone come up to me and say something, I'm not even going to say it because it was disgusting. But I didn't even think. There's a teacher coming in the moment I did it. I jumped on this kid. I got so mad, and then I was just, because I knew this was like a relapse, I was just bawling my eyes out, just awful sadness, or whatever. But that was the last time I ever got in a fight, and Joseph's like, I didn't know there was that side of you. I don't think I want to ever see it again. He's so cute. I love him. But yeah. By the time I was in high school, I still don't. I was in theater. I did really well in theater, actually. I got a bunch of awards for stuff. Had a blast. I made my friend Maddie. I made a friend with Maddie. I had a friend Olivia. A couple of theater friends. Kayleen, my friend. I wasn't in theater, but I always kept her around because she's awesome. But still, no one, my friend, and I'm not. And then when we were seniors, Joseph moved away, upstate, and I didn't know how much I loved that kid until he left, and before he left, it was our junior year. I had been, he'd been talking to me about it apparently he thought I was a cross-dresser. He thought I, dressed in men's clothing, which I don't, not consciously at least, which is whatever, but, we used to talk about it because, I was straight. I thought I was straight until my junior year. I was like, you know what, if I am, I'm not going to be surprised. I'll probably just come out immediately to my parents and just get it over with, because it's like, I'm not going to change. I'm already who I am. So, when the time came and I was sitting on a bus going to a school to, take a different class, just looking at this girl, and I'm like, legs. And, those emotions started to manifest, and I got my first, I had a girlfriend for a bit. We were both so awkward and unsure that nothing ever came of it. It was kind of a horrible, just mistake. But, yeah, there we go. Yeah, just kind of, she's not my friend. She's awesome, but, nothing ever. But, yeah, I came out about 2 weeks later to my parents. And whenever it came up, I would just say, yeah, I'm pansexual, it's whatever. And no one has given me grief about it. I think it's because by that time I was just so happy and unashamed of myself that I would just, people just kind of brushed it off as like, okay, whatever, and nothing I said could really do anything to me. But I guess I'm not angry anymore. I'm lonely, because, I don't get along with people. People confuse the hell out of me. I don't understand the social parameters, what not to say and what to say, what's a good thing and a bad thing. What to wear, what clothing means, and what makeup is, I never understood any of that. So I struggle. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot to talk to with people. Music, I guess, is a good outlet, but it's not a place I hide. That's just because I love it. I don't hide, but I'm still alone. But I'm not angry anymore, and I'm not crying anymore. And I'm not lashing out at the world anymore, because I took the time. I with my ADHD and I took the time to just say, yeah, okay, this is it. What am I gonna do? Deal with it. Basically, this is my lot. Might as well make the best of it and have fun. And like, my happy personality that I put on is more or less an act. I don't do well in social situations. That's basically me performing. But it gets me through, and I can always talk to my sister. Or if I really need to talk, I can talk to Joseph if I want to. I miss the kid. But yeah, it's just, don't let other people's opinions of you and all those the crappy things they say about you or about behind your back that you never, it shouldn't touch you ever, because really, what do these people matter? I mean, the people who treat you like crap, the people who don't see the best of you, the people who don't see the good sides of you, what do they matter? The people who are nice to you and good to you and love you are the ones that know that you're flawed and are okay with that, And if they're not, really, screw them. Unless you're like a mean person, but it's like, you want to wear women's clothing, go for it. Clothing is clothing. Do what you want. If you want to cut your hair off, go for it. If you don't, go for it. If you just whatever makes you happiest is what's going to get you through it. The people who don't make you feel like crap are the ones who are going to get you through it. Yeah, your parents might not understand you yet. And you know what? You'll get old enough to where you don't rely on your parents anymore. And you can surround yourself with the people that love you. Because I am proof that there are people, like when I came out to my parents, they didn't care. They were fine with it. And that's amazing. My sister's, she's like, whatever, but that's her own thing. And hopefully maybe someday she'll get over that. I hope. But if these people don't accept you, and these people aren't ready for you, and you are afraid, or you're nervous, or you're not ready to be yourself, that's okay. A time will come where you'll be in that place. You'll find that place. People will find you. People will love you for who you are, and it's going to be awesome, because really it's super worth it. And I'm going to say those immortal words. It gets better. It so does. It's awesome after a while. Like, once you're happy with yourself, enjoy life, enjoy who you are, and people will start enjoying you as well. That's basically it. I don't know. I've forgotten most of this stuff. I'm happy now, so most of this stuff is just gone. But, yeah. Gets better. I hope this wasn't useless. Bye.